Hello, Alex Sturgeon, HobbyTown HobbyPlex. What I'm going to do in this video is show you everything that I have learned so far with my 22S Sprint since my video back in March. You can consider this a follow-up video, maybe a part 2. Basically a tips and hacks video. There's a lot of cool stuff that we can do to this car. If you can find the parts, if you have the parts. Yeah, just a bunch of neat stuff that I've done. I put some TLR tuned pieces on this thing. We've done some different shocks, and we've also figured out that there's some other parts that we can put on it. I wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, I got some footage of the latest races that we've done. So far this year, I've got a third, a first, and a third. We're about 2 months in to our oval season here at the HobbyTown HobbyPlex. So yeah, let's just get started, and I'm excited to show you guys everything that I've done to this car. All right, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. I got the TLR tuned 22S Sprint chassis. I got the TLR tuned aluminum front pivot. Pretty much did that for strength. That's one of the things that I figured if I took a hard enough hit, it'd be something I'd break easy, and I didn't want that to happen. Got the TLR tuned adjustable C&D blocks. Super important for a car that doesn't have adjustable toe rear arms. This is one way that we're going to be able to do that, and I'll show you that here in a minute. And then we got in the TLR tuned front and rear shock towers for the 22S. And then I went ahead and took off those horrible stock shocks that just leak all over the place no matter what you do. And I replaced them with the 36.5mm TLR shocks, basically the front shocks for the buggy, front and back. I also got some Custom Works springs, really good adjustability. I know that they make a spring set for this car, but kind of like one of those deals at the track where you're like, well, I'm just going to do what everybody else does, so I have something to compare it to. So they're pretty much all using Custom Works springs. Pretty much I've been running those just on the right side only for the time being, but I'm probably going to change that here in a little bit. One thing I haven't done, but I'm probably going to do in the future, is put titanium turnbuckles on. I did replace all of the turnbuckles and ball studs with Team Associated 5.5 ball studs, and right now I'm using Mugen tie rod ends. You can use Yokomo, you can use Associated. Just the stock ones, boy, you know, they're kind of soft plastic, and so had a couple times of those coming off really almost by hand. I'm like, well, we can't do that. So went ahead and replaced those. And again, that's more of a durability thing when you're out there on the track. I just was like, man, I don't really want to pop a ball cup when I'm racing. So that's the easy stuff. You can see the layout still the same, kind of a tight chassis here, but I'm thinking about going to a lighter battery here soon. But the 6400's in there. When you're running 13.5 like I am, you really want to have the voltage be as high as you can for the however many minutes you're out there. So for starters, that's what I got on this car. It made a big difference for me, especially the chassis. Just trying to go for lightweight stuff. We'll get into the weight placement and all that stuff later. But for now, that's where we're at. Let's move on. All right, so again, we're trying to reduce the amount of weight in this car. We're trying to reduce the rotating mass. I was curious, so I got the Team Associated gear diff and the Team Associated ball diff, and I put a Team Associated idler gear instead of the metal idler gear and instead of the metal diff here to see if it would fit, and turns out it does, which is crazy because this metal gear diff inside of the 22S weighs 57 grams. The Team Associated gear diff weighs 28 grams, and the ball diff 32. So we're gonna have a reduction of about 20 grams depending on whether or not we go with a ball diff or a gear diff. So it fits, it works. With the gear diff, you don't have to shim anything. With the ball diff, you do have to put some shims on the inside of the on the outdrives there, and we'll show you that when we get back. But that's crazy how much of a difference that is. So let's get to it. All right, so here's our ball diff, and I want to show you guys the play that's in it without any shims. So gearbox, you can see that back and forth. You always want a little bit of play, just so you know that it's not going to bind up, but that is just a little bit too much. And so we're going to take our shims. These are just 10mm diff shims, and I think 2 is going to be plenty. And now you can see barely any wiggle. So that's what we want. We want it to be free, but you don't want it to be, you know, super sloppy. So the next thing we'll do is just make sure that the dog bone plunge, that there's enough outdrive there for the dog bone. And if there isn't, we can always go to a longer dog bone. Losi makes up to 69mm. So, but yeah, this is going to be a huge improvement. There's so much weight loss compared to the big, heavy metal gear diff. So, on to the next thing. Real quick about the shocks. 7 pistons in the front with 37.5 weight oil. 8 pistons in the back with 35 weight oil. And I have played around with springs. I did go to a stiffer rear spring than the yellow, but I didn't like it. I didn't feel like the car got into the track very well. So for now, I'm still running yellows in the back, and I go between red and green custom works in the front. Ride height all the way around, right about 11. I mean, it's pretty slammed to the ground to keep this thing from flipping over. Obviously, you can adjust your tension by how free you want your rear end to be. If you like your rear end to come around a little bit more, you can twist in a little bit more right rear. And if you like it to be a little bit more planted, you can just keep it nice and low. So that's where I'm at for oils and pistons. But now let's move on to the rear end of what makes this car work way, 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 way better.
Nate, Craig, Logan, and Mitchell. Next time by, we get the green. Keep bunched up. Here we go. Careful with the line. Careful off the 2. All right, sturgeon out front. Oh, careful, turn 2, 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 turn 1, 2, turn 1, 2. All right, 440 for Sturgeon, 443 for Kemp, 446 for Ferguson. It's your top 3 right now. Nick Will with a 4.8, 5.0 for Hulky. Moving it down, 12 laps to go over the line here. Usually on half a lap maybe over Skip right now. And Ferguson. Whoa, careful off the 2. Whoa. Put Ferguson down 1 lap with 7 laps to go. Next up, race 11, second group of 360s. LaChance, Pickle, Menenti, Banish, Soltow, Ernst, and Weiler. Whoa! Got one in the infield. Got one in the infield. 2 to go. Careful down here, 3 and 4. White flag.
All right, now on to the good stuff. So, in my opinion, one of the most important TLR tuned pieces you can get is the adjustable rear pivot. So, the C&D blocks with the pills. That way you can change some toe angle. Static, I believe the car in the instruction manual says that it has 7 degrees, which I think is a typo because it says right side, but right side would be, to me, the passenger side. So anyways, 7 degrees on the inside tire and 3 degrees on the outside tire. So it has a little bit of staggered toe. Not a lot, but a little bit, which is cool. I get that. I think for outdoor tracks, I think actually that would be closer to what you'd want on like a loose dirt situation. However, at the Plex and where I'm racing at indoors with high bite clay or any sort of indoor type clay that's not loose, I think you need to have a little bit more staggered toe. So what these pills do is they like to do that. So I have on the D block here the 1 dot up and in, and then in the front I have it up and out. And so that's making both tires have toe as far as I can to the right. Okay. I measured it, and what I believe, you can't do anything about the 7 degrees on the inside tire, because when I measured it, it also said 7. But on the outside, though, by doing this, it's shown at 0. So that seems to max it out. That frees up the car a ton. It allows it to rotate more freely on high bite surfaces, not flip over as much. We'll get to some other setup things here in a minute, but just to show you a better, clear idea, you can see how I have the pills. So the front block, the C block, I have them up and I would call it out, and then in the back here I've got it up and in. And you can play with your roll center. I have it set at its highest. You can also have the 1 dot center all the way out and all the way in, and then you can also flip these around and have it be low like that. I've tried all 3, and I actually like the upper the most on this car, and so that's where I've kept it. So again, one of the most important TLR tuned pieces you can get, in my opinion, for this car. If you're going to race in anything, not the spec class, obviously, if you're going to try to race this in what I'm trying to race it in, either the 310, 360, or 410 class maybe, definitely get the rear adjustable pivot. All right, a couple more tricks that we can do to help free this car up. So first thing, you can put a wider hub on the outside. So we actually did this in the first video, 8.5 millimeter team associated hex. And when you do that, though, you do have to use a thin nut to hold that wheel on. I've actually never had a tire come off doing that, so there's just enough to keep the wheel on. But pushing that outside tire frees the car up just a tiny little bit. You'll see that I have the different hubs on there, and that's kind of something I just started doing. So these are actually the variable height adjustment hubs made for the 22 5.0 Elite. And yeah, so turns out that the hinge pin is the same size, so those fit right on. And they're also skinnier than a stock hub. So stock hubs, you can't adjust the wheelbase, right? So these you can. So what you see there, those are 3 millimeters of washers. And the outside tire, I have put the wheelbase all the way back. And then on the other side, you can see I've pushed the hubs all the way forward. And so what that does is, again, it's just a subtle thing to help free the car up. So the inside wheelbase is shorter, the outside wheelbase is just a tick longer. And that actually makes a pretty big difference. So you can still find most of these. Are starting to discontinue TLR 5.0 parts at the time of this video. But you can still find these, and I'll have the part number listed. I haven't tried the new hubs for the 22X. If the hinge pin's the same, then they should work. But another thing I did was when I set this up, I kind of lined up where the ball stud is and the height of the stock hub. Since then, I've actually lowered the hub. So when you lower the hubs, you scrub a little bit of side bite, Again, just trying to free the car up. If you're at an outdoor track though, you raise the hubs up and you get a little bit more grip that way. And then you can actually adjust with spacers, both vertically and horizontally, that ball stud location. Then you have 3 more locations on the top too. So it's just a lot more stuff you can do to tune this car out. So that was a big time deal, getting those hubs on there, and I was pretty excited when the hinge pin was the same diameter, so able to get that to work. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys what I did with the weight, and then we'll go over the body, and then we should be good to go. All right, let's talk about weight. So even with the lightweight Lexan body from Proline for the 22S, the body itself, the cage, the wing especially being relatively high up there, without adding weight to the left side and low like I have here, that high center of gravity is going to flip this car over. I tried driving it without the weight and it just didn't work. So you're making this car lighter with the chassis, the shock towers, the lightweight body. It does give you the ability to kind of move some weight around if you want. And I think the best way to do it is with these tungsten pine car weights. So I went to the pine car aisle and found myself some tungsten incremental weights. The cool thing about tungsten is they're really dense, and so they take up less room and they're just as heavy. So added this all up, 5 of the main pieces, that's 70 grams. I had some of these TLR weights from, those have been around forever. So another 25 grams, so about 100 grams to the left side of the car. I tried to distribute it evenly. I tried to make it so that it wasn't in the way of the body. The body fits right over that. It works really good. And this has helped a ton. As soon as I put this weight in, I noticed the car stopped trying to flip over all the time. Doing the wheelbase adjustments in the back and getting that extra little bit of rear toe taken away from the outside tire also helped a lot. But man, this was definitely one of the things that I had to do. I tried to make the body lighter. I tried to make the wing lighter. I'm going to show you guys that next. But any way that you can get weight on the left side here, I think the tungsten just kind of worked. It fit really well where it needed to fit. So I actually drilled a couple holes. You can see I didn't like that one, so I drilled a couple holes into the battery tray, and then I also used shoe goo to secure them in place just in case the screws didn't hold. At least the shoe goo will. So I shoe gooed the rear one in and I shoe gooed the front one in, and that helps a ton. There's also part of that kit comes with some extra pieces, and I'm going to try this weekend. Won't give you any feedback on it just yet because I don't know if that's going to work, but I know on some high bite indoor setups with the other cars, they are putting some brass on that front left arm, and so I'm just going to try to add a little bit of weight there. I just made a pinhole screw into the arm and screwed that sucker in. So I don't know. I think whatever we can do to keep this car from flipping over, we're going to do, and I want to show you guys what I did to the body next.
5 cars can be Micah, Derek, Alex, Johnny, and Braden. Line them up and roll them out. All right, guys, fast 5 for 360. Launch them up. Here we go. Good start, guys. Trying to get away. Derek got Alex and Johnny right there with him. Alex to the inside of Derek, takes that 2 spot away. Careful, got one on the inside. That one's done. Ooh, stay low on the front stretch. Derek in trouble. Stay low on the front stretch. Into one. Micah, Alex, Johnny, Derek, Braden. about a straightaway advantage. Ooh, Johnny gets on the inside. Alex going to take the 2 spot away. Ooh, gets up on 2 wheels. Alex all over the back bumper. 12 laps to go. They're actually closing on Micah a little bit. Careful down here at 1 and 2. All 4 in a line, Derek. There he goes, gives him room. Good job. Johnny now closing in on Micah with 8 laps to go at the line. He fouled up the inside. Micah turns it down, pulls the door. 6 laps to go. Mason third about a straightaway back. Oh, on the inside. Finley takes the spot. 3 laps to go at the line. Kemp back to the inside, not close enough. 2 to go. Whoa, tumble for Finley. He's going to drop back to 3rd. And Chapters right there for Kemp. Sturgeon 2nd, Finley 3rd, and Sprague and Finley.
All right, let's talk about this body. So first things first, you're going to see there's no driver. If your track allows it, take out the driver. Don't use it. It's really heavy and it's sitting up pretty high. So my goal with this body was to lower the center of gravity as much as I can. So no driver. The headers, the stock headers are molded plastic. These are 3D printed, so they're extremely light compared to the stock ones. These are McAllister brand, and they only cost me, I think, $10, something like that. But if you got a 3D printer, maybe you can make them yourself. I don't know. Get a buddy to do it. Yes, I know these are upside down, but the way that I wanted them to fit on the body, that's the only way I could do it because those Nerf bars were kind of in the way. So save yourself lighting me up in the comments. I know they're upside down. I don't care. The rules say I have to have headers. It doesn't say that they have to be right side up. So I think they look cool like that. But yes, I get they're upside down. Don't care. Okay, the wing. So in its stock form, the wing is sitting really, really high. So that's that hole and that hole, obviously, the wing does sit up there. And when I got this Proline Lexan body, I really thought that there was going to be a significant weight difference, and there really wasn't. I was a little surprised by that. So I was looking at it, and I'm like, wonder if I can get that lower. So this screw right here is a screw meant for the cross brace, and it actually lined up just fine when I unbolted the cross brace and I put it down there and I screwed it in. And then this hole right here lines up really well, almost exactly with the screw holding the net, the top screw holding the net in place. They're 2mm screws, so you do have to drill it out a little bit. But that's a good way to do it without making your own hole. So I have made my own hole through that. There's enough material here to lower it even more. So that's what I did. Doing that really helped a lot. I think I measured it. I think it was 11mm in the back, and in the front right now it's even more than that. So that helped a ton. I will say just doing it that little bit made this car not want to flip over near as much as it had been doing. So handling wise, I really didn't notice much of a downforce issue either way. You do lose the ability to move the body or the wing back and forth when you do it that way. But my main goal was to, again, get the center of gravity low. If you turn the body around, you can see that I cut out the brace there altogether. And then down here, where the driver would bolt on, I cut him out too. Just getting rid of, whatever weight we can get rid of from this body. And then you can see I did some more there and there. That goes all the way across, and then that piece right there. Anything that I thought wouldn't hurt the structural integrity of this cage, I cut out. Okay, so you can see did the same thing on that side. So it's not a lot, but I figure every little bit helps. And that was pretty significant. Now I will say that I measured the width of the cage and I compared it to a Custom Works cage, and they're actually the same width. And so I am going to put a Custom Works cage on, and I will tell you, with side-by-side comparison, I was sitting at a track with my buddy, my podcasting partner, Will, and I picked up his wing and I picked up this wing, and I'm like, holy crap, like the Custom Works wing is way, way, way lighter. So getting the Custom Works wing on, I think, is going to be an even bigger improvement, and it shouldn't be that hard to get it on with the screw holes that I have, and it'll be more adjustable. So I'm looking forward to that. But I did want to make this video based on what we get and what we can modify and all that. So literally a body hack is what we're doing here. So all right, just a quick word about camber. So the outside of the car, the right side, I'm at -1, both front and rear, -1 camber. And then on the inside, the left side of the car, I'm at +1 in the front, and I go back and forth between +1 and +2. So when the grip really starts to come up, I actually go +2 on the left rear, and it seems to help keep the car from flipping over as well. So again, it sounds like a broken record, but I've been trying to keep this car planted with more power going through the corner, more corner speed, and that's one way I've been able to do it, to fight that urge of this thing to want to flip. So there's your camber adjustment. Okay, and then a quick word about gearing. So right now I'm at 75/30. I run the 13.5 class. We got to run the fixed timing Hobbywing 13.5 system with the just stock motor. I was running 72/30, and it just didn't seem to have enough pep out of the corners. I could definitely feel it when I went back up to a 75. Kimbrough actually makes a 74 tooth that I'm thinking about trying, and then I'm going to gear up one more tooth on the pinion gear to see if I can find a little bit more speed out of the car. But I was pretty happy with this 75/30. There's actually not much more room left on the motor plate, and not much more room left to move the motor forward anymore. So the only real way to gear it up is to get a smaller spur gear on, unless I think Hot Racing is making a motor plate for this car, but again, you're going to run out of room physically where the motor's at anyway. So I'm going to try that 74 tooth spur gear this upcoming weekend, and see if I can find a happy medium. But I did win our first point series with this gearing, so it should be really good. All right, just a really quick word about tires. So home base, we use Smoothie 2s. We also went to a track in Auburn, Nebraska. We're also using Smoothie 2s from J Concepts. Silver compound. I almost always glue the outside edge of my front tires off-road, and especially on dirt oval now too. So if you're not doing this, you're probably having a ton of steering. Gluing the outside edge just allows the tire to not be so grabby, and again, it's all about corner speed, trying to get as fast as you can through the turn. So I do go back and forth between regular and hard outside edge. When the grip is super duper high, you use a hard outside edge, J Concept Smoothie 2 front tire, and you can either choose to glue or not glue. I actually have been gluing them as well. In the morning when the grip is not quite there, you can kind of tell, you're like, oh, my car pushes, and so I'll put on regular Smoothie 2 front tires, and then later on in the day when the grip is really high, then you go back to the hard outside edge. So just whatever works at your track. Maybe that's a spec tire, then it doesn't really matter. But gluing the outside edge, if you're having a lot of trouble with the real grabby steering and also, flipping over, I know, broken record, but gluing the outside edge of your front tires will help with that as well.
All right, looks like you guys are ready to rock and roll. Let's roll them around. Derek, Shane, Justin, Alex, Jonah, Glenn. Just like that, we're not going out of 4 this time. No, I'm checking to make sure everybody's in. 50 laps for the side of this one here. 8-man 360, going out of 4. Derek Sprague, the field is yours. Green, green, green. That's on his own, it's on his own, it's on his own. We're going. We're racing. Trouble in forward, trouble 3, trouble 1, clear, everybody's running again. Give you guys a few more laps to decide what you're going to do. Get all settled in. Trouble 2, clear. Lots happening in this 13-5 sprint car class. Car infield, car 3, 3, clear. Alex Sturgeon up to the P2, got his sights set in on Derek Sprague. Here he comes. 36 laps to go. The red and blue, the red and white car of Alex Sturgeon is on fire, chasing down Derek Sprague, the yellow 79. Shane Manetti's got his name in the hat. We got 30 laps to go. At the conclusion of this one, top 4 cars to tech. Top 4 cars to tech table. At the end, you drop your car down, let it be. 26 to go. Derek, Alex, Shane, Jonah, Justin, Glenn. Top 4 cars. We're halfway there.
No.
Into the 3-4 clear. That was Alex. Shane can't capitalize on that for P2. Still a lot left to go. It's Derek, Shane, Alex, Jonah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Trouble number 1, stay high, still there, clear. 18 to go. Alex puts his move on Derek just to get his lap back. Oh, trouble for Alex in 4. 13 to go. Derek, Shane, Alex, Jonah. You're later. Derek Sprague. About a straightaway apart from first and second right now. 9 to go. The 79 in orange car, Derek Sprague's your leader. White number 16 is 2. Alex in the red and white. That's your third place car. White and green of Jonah the 30. 4 to go.
Write it out, Derek. Write it out.
White flag out this time by for Derek. He's coming into 3, into 4, kicking the checker flag and the win. Everybody's finished for a lap here on. Derek Sprague will take the win, followed by Shane, Alex, Jonah, Justin.
Okay, I think that just about does it for all the tips, the setup, and the hacks that I can think of that I've done to this car, and I've been really happy with it since. To break it down, I have had some people ask me, hey, would you recommend doing what you're doing as opposed to just getting like a Velocity RC or a Custom Works, carbon sprint car? And if you're starting from scratch and you wanted to race 360 or the mod class, 410 class, I would actually say no, probably not. I enjoy it. I enjoy trying to figure out how to get this car to compete at that level. I haven't raced mod, obviously, but in 360 I'm doing pretty well. And I would say, let's say you already have a 22S Sprint, you've been racing in a spec class, but now you do want to move up to, say, 360, the 13.5 class, or even the 310, the 17.5 class. You already have it. I would say the stuff that I've done to this car, that's more for you. That is a way for you to get this thing a little bit more up to speed, not being so far behind the 8 ball. If I were to suggest things to get first, I would say number 1, get rid of that big metal heavy diff inside the transmission. So the team associated ball diff or the team associated gear diff was a definite pickup for me. I could feel it in the car. The acceleration was better. The ball diff will be really consistent traction. The gear diff allows you to play with fluids and stuff. I have not put that in there, though. I've been running the ball diff pretty much the whole time. But either one of those, it's going to be half the weight of the stock metal, giant heavy metal gear diff that's in there. Simple things like the custom work springs are a pretty good deal. They make like a 4-pack with all 4 colors in them. I think it's like $20. That's an easy way to do it. getting the adjustable rear pivot, the C&D block, so that you can get rid of a little bit more toe on that right side. Also is important. That's a more expensive one, but you know, that did make a big difference. And then obviously getting that wing lower, you know, that's not going to cost you anything. So getting that wing lower will help out a ton too. The Lexan wing, I don't know, man. I was surprised by how much it didn't make a difference weight wise. I never was able to measure, you know, put it on a scale to really tell the difference. It says lightweight wing, but when you put it all on, it's really not that much lighter. So, so yeah, so those are the things that I would recommend first. But hopefully this video will help you out and get you out there racing with this car. It's a pretty good platform to start out with, and especially in the spec class if you're running with, you know, like everybody else was running a 22S as well. But this video will allow you to get in deeper and really make this thing get out there and compete more. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and I've been trying to put this video together for a while, and I'm glad we finally got it done. And yeah, we'll see what the rest of the season goes here at the HobbyTown HobbyPlex in our Dirt Oval Winter Series, but hopefully I continue to get up on those podiums. So make sure that you subscribe, like, tell your friends, and we will make another video for you soon. Okay, well, I was going to end the video on that, but while I was sitting there editing and all that, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get this CustomWorks wing done, and I wanted to show you guys the weight difference. So here is the stock wing with the Proline Lexan body, 164 grams. Here is the CustomWorks wing that I just completed with just basic white paint, 103. So about 60 grams lighter. It just feels lighter too in my hands. I did use metal screws instead of the plastic ones to hold the actual mount in place. So it probably did add a little bit more weight to it, but not enough to really think it's going to be a huge difference. But that is pretty significant if you ask me. It's about a third. So yeah, we're going to put that on. It looks like there might be a little bit of trimming I'm going to have to do on the right side of the car because the body has a little bubble that comes out of it. But other than that, I should be able to make good adjustments and yeah, have it be a whole lot lighter. So I'm excited, and maybe we'll do a follow-up video in the future. But yeah, that's doable. So for realsies this time, make sure that you subscribe, like, tell your friends, and we'll make a new video for you soon.